I'm Dr. Sarah Ferris.
And I'm Dr. Antine Stenbit.
And we're going to show you how to set up the VESper device to split a ventilator between two patients.
So the first thing you want to do is take your VESper devices and seat them well on the inspiratory and the expiratory outlet of the ventilator. And make sure that they're actually angled so that you can have the ventilator circuits go in the right angle for how you have your patient situated. The other thing you want to make sure is that you actually have tubing that's designated or marked so that you have it for both patients. Each patient needs to have a designation for their particular, so I have a particular color. So one has no tape here and one has tape. You can use clear or white tubing for one patient and blue for the other, or whatever you have available in your hospital system. The next thing you want to do is take your filters, and here we have the universal bacterial and viral filter that you can attach. You can also use the HEPA light filter, which is what we would probably do in this situation instead of using the universal bacterial and viral filters, but these are what we have available right now. You want to make sure that they're seated well on the VESper device, on both the inspiratory and the expiratory limb. And then you place the tubing for your patient on each side. You want to make sure that one patient in the dyad has the cap still attached to the circuit, and you want to make sure that you keep that cap, because it's going to be very important not only to test the system before you place the patient on it, but also that in case of an emergency, that cap is available, and when you want to take one patient off. So the first thing that you want to do after you set up the ventilator is you're going to test your system, because you want to make sure that you don't have leaks on both patient A and patient B. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to make sure you have a cap on one of the patient's circuits, because if you don't have a cap, then you're going to have an open system. So what I would do is place the Y connector onto a test lung for patient A. This is our patient A. And then turn on your ventilator. Give it a second. So we have it set in pressure control mode. Our low volume alarm is, low minute ventilation alarm is going off because I actually have it set already. Now what we're going to do, our leak is minimal on this, and now we're going to add the second test lung. And so the tidal volume is additive between patient A and patient B. And so my alarms were initially set for the total, and so that's why, and you want to make sure that your alarms, so now we have to wait for 2 minutes to make sure our alarms are not going to go off. So now this has been 2 minutes, and so our alarms have come off, and as you see, we are not actually alarming anything. We don't have a leak in the system, so we are ready to actually attach it to our patients. So now I'm going to actually pause our ventilator, and we're ready to attach it to our patients. So now we're going to connect patient A and then patient B. So patient A is connected. My alarms are actually set for 2 patients, so our alarms are actually going to go off because we have half of the tidal volume that we initially set on the ventilator. So you want to make sure that that the tidal volume is appropriate, and then you can connect patient B.
And now I'm going to attach patient B to the ventilator, and we'll save the cap and have it labeled and taped to the ventilator in case we need to take a patient off emergently.
Please understand and remember that this was done in the sim lab. We are not using personal protective equipment. Please remember to use the personal protective equipment for COVID-19 that is directed by your hospital or hospital system. We also want to make sure that if you have any questions, that you go to the website for VESper. We also want to make sure that you understand that this is a salvage therapy when you are out of ventilators. That is a very important statement that we want to make sure that you understand. And we wish you well. Please stay safe. And thank you so much for everything that you're doing for all of your patients.